I made a commitment to you. Let's talk about illegal immigration. I would want no opponent more than the individual who I have who's sitting behind me today. He is the personification. 2 years ago, I said, leadership matters. Before I came to town, began running for office, after serving in the United States military, and before the people who I've pulled together as part of a grassroots movement in this district, John Degnan and his friends were working in the village of Brewster to lay out the welcome mat for illegal aliens. It's all on record. Putnam County, whether it be social services, taxpayer-funded workstations, before his town supervisor race last year, 3 months before Spitzer unveiled his dangerous ID card program, my opponent decided to invite the Guatemalan consulate to the village of Brewster to hand out ID cards. ID cards to people who are here illegally. There's something wrong with somebody who believes it's okay to take somebody who broke this nation's laws, they're here illegally, and to give them a form of identification when we don't know who they are. Spitzer made that mistake, and my opponent made that mistake 3 months before. I stood up last year with my friends, and we fought back this mayor's proposal. He's a personification of why I'm an effective assemblyman. Up until last year, he was quoted as saying he wanted to use taxpayer dollars, your taxpayer dollars, to build a workstation for illegal aliens. That workstation was not only going to be so people could wait around for work, it's quoted as suggesting that it was also going to provide social services, health care, and employment services to illegal aliens at taxpayer expense. We fought back that proposal. I have serious accomplishments as an assemblyman, but sitting before you is probably one of my greatest accomplishments. For over 5 years, during his term, not only as trustee, but as mayor, he laid out the welcome mat to illegal aliens. The Journal News sung praises to Mayor Degnan. The Journal News editorial board to this day is one of his best friends. He thought that that was going to get him to higher office. And that village was overrun, not overnight, John, you're right. That village was overrun systematically on your watch as you embraced liberal policy after liberal policy, embracing, quote, I quote, all immigrants, both legal and illegal. And you stand before this crowd today and you say illegal immigration is illegal. But in the Journal News on January 6th, you stated, and this is a quote from the not conservative rag, the Journal News, Brewster Mayor John Degnan said the laws should be enforced, but undocumented immigrants should not be lumped together and categorized as criminals. John, illegal immigration is illegal, and illegal aliens are criminals, and the people who house and employ them are also criminals, and they're breaking the law. So as we're sitting in, I'm lying? Okay. Well, this is what I would. This is what I would like to do. This is a quote. This is a quote from the Journal News, 9/5/05. It's not about enforcement, John Degnan said, relating to cracking down on illegal aliens. Next, the next quote. This is 9/5/05, the Journal News, talking about giving day laborers a place to work. John Degnan stated, this is a direct quote from the Journal News, in Brewster, John Degnan said they expect to form relationships with churches and nonprofit organizations to offer more than just a pickup site. The idea would be to network with the agencies to offer the immigrant population assistance with housing, health services, and English classes. Next, the Journal News on January 6, 2006, quote unquote, Brewster Mayor John Degnan joined the committee, said the laws should be enforced. But listen to this quote, but undocumented aliens should not be lumped together and categorized as criminals. Those are the quotes. I, right here, have 30 pages of documentation. The only thing that stopped John Degnan from building a workstation for illegal aliens and being on the front page of the Journal News as the hero of the illegal alien population was Greg Ball and the team that stood behind me. We fought them, we beat them, and we'll do it again on September 9th.
So it's going to take time. The issues in the village of Brewster didn't happen overnight.
And over 12 years.
Well, frankly, when I arrived there in 1995, I said, look at all these guys in the street. What's going on here? And in time, I participated, I got involved. Are you saying, folks, are you saying that the illegal immigrants weren't in the village of Brewster in 1995? This problem did not happen overnight. It is.
Could we please allow the candidates to respond, and could we please be respectful? Thank you.
Thank you, Patty. These problems did not happen overnight. They're not going to be solved overnight. Mr. Ball has been very astute with taking quotes from where he chooses to talk about what we've done or haven't done about issues of illegal immigration in the village. I say, this is the 99th Assembly District. We need to focus on our economic security and our vitality. We need to see property taxes reformed. We need to look at health care insurance. We need to get serious about what we can do in the Assembly. Mr. Ball has demonstrated time and time again his efforts with dealing with illegal immigration have torn a community asunder. He has not offered one iota of improvement. So I ask you all to recognize the village of Brewster, once again, is at the bottom of that real estate ladder when it comes to price values. I proudly raised my children there, and we could use your help, not tearing it asunder. Thank you. It's easy to light a match. We've worked hard in that community to bring people together. And yeah, you know what? Under my watch, for the first time, we held community affair meetings where we spoke to people in English and we translated into Spanish. And we said, you know what? Quality of life issues have to be dealt with here. We have to stop this downward spiral. And we're engaging you people and telling you you have just as much responsibility in our community as I have in my community. Pride of ownership, social responsibilities. So when it comes to asking yourselves who you should be supporting here, think in terms of people that tell the truth. Think in terms of people that have character and integrity. This man lacks it.
Very briefly, I think the silver bullet is this. Each level of government has to be committed to dealing with this problem. Each level of government, the federal government, the state, and the local government, it affects everything. I can't tell you how many nights I spent in the hospital with my daughter where my wife and I are hustling to pay for our insurance to cover our stay, and there were people in neighboring rooms, and then sometimes in our room, we're paying nothing in health insurance. We're paying nothing into the system. It is a problem that affects education, health care. When I'm in Washington, you will have an ally to enforce the border and deal with the problem in this country, and that is the key. Every level of government has responsibility for the problem, and every level of government has responsibility for the solution.
John, we've never got along with politics. I always liked you personally, on a personal level. But you say that you feel that your children are growing up in the village of Brewster, of which I am also a resident of the village of Brewster, growing up in a safe environment. While 2 weeks ago, a young man at 24 years old was caught in one of your rental properties sexually abusing an 11-year-old boy right across the street from your house, John. So how can you tell me that the village of Brewster is safe when we have an alleged pedophile living in one of your properties right across the street from where you raise your children? I don't understand this, John. That's the question.
Folks, the key word here is alleged. There was an arrest made. There was an arrest made. That 24-year-old man will have his day in court. The bail was set at $500.